What's up, guys? Welcome to the 600 sub special. Today we are doing the Q&A. I have questions from Instagram, YouTube, and my Discord, because I couldn't get any from TikTok because TikTok hates me. But I got 3 from YouTube, 3 from Instagram, 7 from YouTube, and a bunch from Discord. So I'm gonna do these in parts, starting with Instagram, YouTube, Discord, of course, going to smallest to biggest. So let's get started with Instagram. Okay, up first in Instagram we have, why is Graveclobber the most goated Skylander / villain? This is from Allergen. I don't know. I'm sorry. Graveclobber's not a bad character. Don't get me wrong. I am a okay Graveclobber fan. I don't think he's the best Skylander or the most goated, but he's definitely still a good Skylander, and he's a good villain. I don't understand why they made him Water Element from Earth, but it'd be okay. Next is from Danny LOL730 on Instagram. They asked, who's your least favorite Skylander? My least favorite Skylander is sitting right next to me, that being Super Shot Stealth Elf. I personally really dislike how they absolutely botch Stealth Elf and Superchargers. Why do they give her a machine gun type thing? I think it's awful. That is my least favorite Skylander. Yeah, if you look me up on Google AI, it tells you my least favorite Skylander is Gilgrim. I like Gilgrim. Next question, last question from Instagram is by Bobo _5262. And they have asked, how's your week been? My week has been great. I had 500 subscribers just not too long ago, and then we hit 600 subscribers for me today, which is absolutely insane. So thank you guys. Let's move now on to YouTube. Up first from Furry Lover Uwu7. They have asked, what's your top 5 favorite Skylander bosses, and what is your top 5 favorite Life Element Skylanders? My top 5 favorite Skylander bosses, in 5th place, I'm giving it to the Chompy Mage and Skylanders Trap Team. In 4th place, I'm gonna go with In 4th place, give me Chef Pepperjack. No, give me Wolfgang and Trap Team. In 3rd place, give me Drill X and Giants. In 2nd place, give me let me think. 2nd place, I'll give it to. Ooh, this is a hard one. 1st place is definitely Ultimate Traptanium Chaos. 2nd place, give me the Fire Element Sources from SSA, just because they have Sunburn in them. And my top 5 favorite Life Skylanders, I don't even know. Camo, Stump Smash, Tree Rex, Bubble Blast, and Stink Bomb. Yeah, that's 5. I don't know. Those are probably my 5 just looking at my shelf. Up next is by Omni Smasher 69. They're also on my Discord. They're a moderator in my Discord. I do know this guy pretty well. What is your second favorite game franchise? My second favorite game franchise is definitely Pokemon. I've played every Pokemon game since Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I have went back and played Pokemon X. I have not played through Black or White or Gold. I have not played through those games yet. I do plan to eventually. But yeah, that Pokemon definitely up there. I have so many hours into every Switch Pokemon game. I love Pokemon so much. Next is by Minion.28 on YouTube. They have asked, what is your favorite element for each game or each gimmick? My favorite Skylander element is definitely Fire in SSA, Life in Giants, Tech in Swap Force, Fire in Trap Team, Fire again in Superchargers, and then give me Air just because of mainly Wildstorm in Imagineers. And my favorite gimmicks, favorite of each gimmick would be Sunburn, Tree Rex, Blast Zone, Wildfire, Double Dare Trigger Happy, and Wildstorm. Definitely. Now let's move on to the next question. Next one comes from Swapmate3. They have asked, what's your favorite final boss in each franchise? Final boss in the franchise, not in each franchise. That is definitely the Ultimate Traptanium Chaos, like I said before. I love that boss fight, even though it is a pain in the ass. I do think it's a great boss fight. With 2 questions left on YouTube. Next is by UnknownOdyssey.U05. They have asked, what are your thoughts on Drill Sergeant? I'm not the biggest Drill Sergeant fan, but they have grown on me. as I played them in Skylanders my Swap Force streams. They have grown on me, and I do enjoy them a little bit more now. And last one's by Skyada, and they asked, is Skyada the GOAT? Of course he is. He subscribed to me. Anybody who subscribed to me, you are the GOAT. I promise. Please hit the subscribe button down below. Now moving on to Discord. This is where I have the most questions, as this has been open a lot longer than both of the other things. Up first is by Trigger Happy. You will see a lot of names repeated. They have asked, first, how many Skylanders do I have? I think the last time I checked, it was over 300. I own a lot of figures, as you can tell. Next is another bunch by Trigger Happy. They have asked me, why do you hate Doombug? I don't really hate Doombug as much anymore. I have grown to actually fawn Doombug. I think they're a good Skylander now. Definitely not the best Skylander though, but that was mainly started on one of my streams because I never really played as Doombug and never really gave him a chance. But now that I have, I've grown an actual fawn and liking of him. Next is, how many times have you watched Skylanders Academy? I've never actually watched the show completely through. I would love to someday, and I think it would be really cool. Next, they have asked, what Skylanders media would you recommend to start? This is a good question, actually, as I do, of course, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I would say, growing, you're definitely going to grow the fastest on TikTok and Instagram, as it's a lot easier to get followers, as that's a more short-based content farm, and it's a lot easier to get followers. YouTube, I would also recommend, because I feel that's where you feel the most accomplished with every goal, as, of course, I felt like I was so much happier hitting 500 subscribers on YouTube than I did hitting 500 subscribers on Instagram, on TikTok, because I feel like I hit those a lot faster, and I've always dreamed of being more popular on YouTube, as I've always been wanting to do more YouTube. Next, they have asked, when did your Skylander reception start? I started back in 2012 when my brother gave me his Skylanders Sprout Adventure collection. Then eventually, my grandpa and grandma went and got me the Skylanders Giant Starter Pack. I have loved Skylanders ever since, and as you see, I have grown a very big collection of figures. Lastly, they asked me how many Skylander customs have I painted. I currently own 6 customs that I have done, that I own. I have done 4 more after that, as I did another Cinder, another Jetpack before I painted over them. And then I've as well done a bouncer that I gave to one of my friends for a smash hit, and a Stitch Pop Fizz that I made for my girlfriend. I will pop pictures of those two if I can find them. Next questions come from Doge Lover 64, and they have asked, do I have a crush on any Skylander / NPC? If I had to say one, it's the gorgeous, the beautiful, the perfect Captain Flynn. I mean, how couldn't you look at that guy and not go, boom? Next is back from Trigger Happy. They have asked, how much merchandise do I have? Not counting my figures, I have a lunchbox, 2 Skylander books, an inbox starter pack, the 3DS portal, a custom portal my girlfriend made me, some NFC cards, 3 posters, a lot of stuff, I'll tell you that. Next one is from Blizzard523. They asked, do you think that Warnado is not trash? I do enjoy Warnado, and I do believe he's overrated. Sorry, Gaming Elite and Immortal Skylanders. Next is by Zwigo. He's a well-known person in the Skylanders community. They have asked, what Skylanders do you think aren't worth their price by either their figure pose or their gameplay? If I had to say one, and I've heard a long-jaded hate for the disliking of this character, is Robo. Of course, I only own the 3D printed version that actually does work in game with an NFC tag, but I personally have never been a big fan of Robo since I've got him and since I've played as him, as I think he's weak and he's too much of a learning hassle for me. And I dislike his level a lot. But if I had to say one, I'd give it to Robo. If I had to say another, it'd be Blackout. Up next is by Blizzard523 again, and they have asked, would you like a Skylander 7 or a remastered title? I personally would rather the remaster, as I feel if we're going to get a Skylander 7 ever, we need the remastered first. As we've seen this before with Spyro and with Crash Bandicoot. With the Crash Bandicoot remasters and the Spyro remasters coming way before we got the new Spyro game coming out later and the new Crash game that came out. So yes, I would like the remasters first. Hopefully it would be Spyro's Adventure and Giants with workability with every other Skylander. I think that would be fire up the difficulty when you're playing with different Skylanders, as I feel like we got a lot more technology that could happen. Unlike Imaginators, which sucks with Next question. Next comes from Shrimp. They have asked, who's your favorite and least favorite Skylander of the Forgotten 8, not counting Sunburn? Of course, the Forgotten 8 is Sunburn, Whamshell, Warnado, Ghost Roaster, Hold on. Boomer, Dino Rain, Tornado, I think I done said Tornado, Camo, and Voodoo. I might be forgetting about it. There's a lot of, there's the Forgotten 8. If I had to pick a favorite that's not Sunburn, I'm giving it to Boomer. Boomer is one of my, I'm giving it to Ghost Rusher. Ghost Rusher is my second favorite Skylander, and I think he is so good and so fun to play. Not second, third favorite Skylander, I think he's so fun to play. If I had to go with my least favorite, I would probably give it to Whamshell. Whamshell definitely, as I'm not the biggest Whamshell fan. Next comes from Chopperverse, and we have a bunch here from him himself. Chopperverse is another Skylander content creator. Go give him a subscribe, guys. First, do you ever stop or slow down collecting Skylanders? I collect Skylanders if I have the money, and of course if I find the ones I need. As I'm not looking to collect every Lycor, every Repose, every series variant, or anything like that. I just want one of every playable Skylander. That's the main reason I don't have that many minis, as minis are just duplicates and copies of the other Skylanders. So that's why I'm kind of slowing down. Of course, that's the reason when I found StarCast and I needed a Dark Element Skylander from Imagineers, I picked him up, got him for $20, which is a great price for any Sensei. Next, they have asked, what's one Skylander item you would get if you could have any? If I could have any Skylanders item, I'm going to go first with a fictional item, of course, being a Series 2 Sunburn, Lycor Sunburn, or Eon's Elite Sunburn. Because Sunburn's my favorite Skylander, of course. But if I had to get one that is actually released and still is out there, I would say regular Double Dare Trigger Happy. I found one in the wild for $50, but it was missing a scan, so I didn't get it. But I do really like Double Dare Trigger Happy. And lastly is, what Skylander was your most wanted of all time as a kid? Of course, that would be Sunburn. I never got him when I was a kid, sadly, but I did get him eventually after, and now he's my favorite. Next questions. Next up is also by Chopperverse. They have asked, what Skylander besides Sunburn would you have liked to see a variant or a repose? Honestly, I rather would have gotten a Series 2 Grim Reaper, as I think they could have done a lot more with his Ghost and Ghoulie type, and I think it would have been really cool. Another one by Chopperverse. We have, what are your thoughts about the Skylander Chopper? Of course, that being, of course, his favorite Skylander and Chopper right here. And no matter what my mod Polyswag wants to say, Chopper is a great Skylander, and he has proved that to me in my Skylander Squirrel Lock, which I still need to continue and finish, that he is a great Skylander. I really enjoy Chopper, and I would recommend anybody who's beginning to collect Skylanders and Skylander straps to get him, as he's not an expensive figure. Next question is from Blizzard. This one's a serious question. Is, have you ever planned on stopping making videos? Thought of stopping making videos? See, this comes up to any content creator, and the answer is obviously yes. I've always thought that I could just stop at any point. This stuff hasn't really got to me as draining. I have been doing YouTube and TikTok since 2022. I've been doing TikTok for Skylanders since 2022. I've been doing YouTube since I think 2019, 2018. I've constantly had stop and go ons, but what I've realized this time is, seeing the growth and seeing the community I've been growing has been proving just something to me that this is worth something, as I'm really bringing something to people who watch my videos. And I love that so much, and it means so much to me. So no, not right now. I do have no plans of stopping videos or stopping shorts or anything like that, or live streams, as the only reason my live streams have been slower, of course, I am back in school. I'm back in my last year of high school. So yeah, and I have no plans right now. Next is a bunch by Blizzard. They have asked, if you were able to throw a Skylander off a bridge, which one would you throw? If you had to choose to go live in Skylands, would you? I would not personally, because I can't fly. I would just fall. Do you will continue Spotlights until you have done them all? The plan right now for Spotlights is to do it until I do them all, but then again, that's by your guys' request. I don't get to pick the Skylander Spotlight, you guys do. Are you afraid of the dark? Not really. I used to when I was a kid, but now I can kind of get through it. Do you think Skylanders is too expensive? I have been on this rant in multiple of my live streams. I believe Skylanders collecting is way too expensive, and this is mainly due to the mass growing of resellers and people who buy up Skylanders and sell them, because that raises the prices on these figures. And that leaves people who are collecting Skylanders to have to work out and actually find like lots with really good Skylanders. Like Skylanders like Robo, he has become way too expensive. I don't think he's worth $400, $500, whatever he goes for now. So yeah, I do think Skylander collecting has gotten way out of hand and way too expensive. That's the reason I am full support of NFC cards and NFC packs. Second to last question now. If you're forced to 1v1 no, not second to last question. We got a few more questions left. We got 4 more questions after this one. If you were forced to 1v1 a Skylander, which one are you picking? If I was forced to 1v1 a Skylander, I'm picking Wrecking Ball. As long as I avoid his tongue, I need to punch. That's my trigger happy. If Skylanders would just vanish and you were the only one that would remember, would you tell people about it and try to prove your point, or just accept that the face of Skylanders in question would be Sunburn? I don't know how I would prove, because if any of these figures would vanish, I of course would have the memories, but I wouldn't have any of these figures. I would probably try and tell people how cool of an idea it was, and if I could, grow the idea as my own. You know what I mean. Next question is back from Polyswag. What is your favorite block in Minecraft? If you don't know what this is from that Daintinium Live that came popular again. And Polyswag is one of my mods in my Discord and on YouTube. My favorite block in Minecraft? I don't know. Obsidian. Second to the last question now. Why do you love Sunburn, and what is your opinion on Skylanders on PC? And who's the Skylander who has the same treatment as Sunburn in your opinion? Up first, why Sunburn is my favorite Skylander. As when I grew up, around 2017, 2018, I completely ditched Skylanders. So my Skylanders were put in a box and put into storage. And I didn't have the big collection I have now. They were in a box maybe this big and were stored away. I didn't have a care in the Skylanders, and then I seen Skylander Gamer TV, one of his videos, and that really brought my passion back. So I got my Skylanders out of that storage building, and I was like, well, I need to start collecting you. And the first Skylander I got after I said that was Sunburn. Sunburn really pushed my passion to want to collect Skylanders and pick them back up, and it grew such a fine heart and moment for me as Skylanders connected me back to what helped me when I was a kid, what I did when I was a kid, and I really love Sunburn for that. So that's the reason Sunburn is my favorite Skylander. Opinion on Skylanders on PC. I don't know if you're talking about how SSA had a PC port, or if you're talking about how Skylanders emulating. Both I'm completely fine with. As a PC port, of course, that comes straight from SPEC and Toys for Bob, and the emulators, I'm fine with that too. Skylander games aren't cheap anymore. The PS4 and Xbox One disc and Xbox One portals both go for over almost $100 to get them both. And I think that's insane. So I'm perfectly fine with people emulating, and if that's what you need to do to play your favorite Skylander, then go ahead. And if you can emulate a portal, go ahead so you can play as every Skylander. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. You have a great and blessed day, guys. Goodbye.